Hello, everybody, and welcome to our next webinar in our Lunch and Learn webinar series. I hope you had a great day thus far, and I hope we can make it even better with some educational insights and some light and guided movement. Today, we're going to talk about certain perspectives on moving and on running, and based on this, we're going to talk about motivation. As in the last webinar, we're obviously going to start with the movement session. Let's just jump right into the movement patterns we want to do today. And just to recall what we did last time in the last webinar, we worked on weight shifts. So what we did is we had a somewhat athletic stance, and then we shifted our weights, and then we lifted our legs. What we also did is we worked on pointing with the free leg. And what we're going to do now is we're going to integrate it into a movement pattern, and it's going to be open and it's going to be associative. So just feel free to do your movement in whatever direction you want. So make sure you have a lot of space around you, somewhere in the middle of your living room or in your workplace. And I'll show you first what I'm expecting of you, and then you just repeat with me, doing it for 1 minute. So what we're going to do is you stand in your somewhat athletic stance, then you lower yourself, and then you choose one side, and then you lift your leg off that is not supporting, and then you point in any direction you want, and then you're gonna shift your weight into this direction. Stay low and then come up. Do the same again. Lower your leg, point in any direction, stay low, shift your weight to the other side, and then come up. And do this in an open and associative way. I'm going to show it to you. We're going to do 1 minute, and let's go. Shift your weight and make sure to control the motion at all times. So don't be too fast. Try to slow down even more than you think is necessary. Lower yourself, point somewhere, shift your weight, and then when you feel safe, come up. Try not to repeat patterns. So be open 30 seconds and creative in your way of doing this. Try to control your motion. We've got about 15 seconds left. Watch your knee like we did last time. Really important, this one. And that's it. Okay. So this is pretty easy. This sometimes feels and looks like Qigong practice, for example. You can do it whenever, as a work break, as a study break, or whenever it fits your schedule. And we're going to progress this now. But before that, I want to show you a really fundamental movement pattern that we are trying to give you as a present and get you to install it in your body. And what we're going to do for this is the same one: athletic stance, comfortable stance, and then we're going to shift our weight again. So we have this non-supporting leg. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to lift the sole from the ground without moving in our knees. So we're going to do it through lifting our hips. What you can do as a feedback, put your hands on your pelvis, on your hips, somewhere where it feels comfortable as a feedback, and then try to push this hand from the non-supporting leg up. You can leave your leg straight for the beginning and just repeat this pattern. We're going to do it for 30 seconds, then we're going to shift to the other side and do it in the same way. Try to lift the leg from the ground without having any motion in the knees. So no extending, no bending. Solely comes from the hip. So start in your neutral position, shift your weight, get your feedback mechanisms going. You can leave your leg straight for the beginning and then just lift it up really slowly, as high as you can, and then lower it until your foot touches the ground again. 30 seconds. Make sure to mind your supporting leg's knee. Leave it extended the same way all the time, or have it a little bit bent, but in the same way. So don't extend it when you're going up. And we're going to repeat this just a few seconds more, and then we're going to shift our weight, other side, and repeat this pattern.
and try to feel it in your glutes, so to the side of your pelvis, and feel the little burn that might come with it, and try to really make it slow and controlled. Probably about 10 seconds. And for the next one, we're gonna do this, and we're not only gonna lift ourselves up, but we're gonna lower ourselves down. So what I mean by that is, same thing, hands on the same positions, you shift your weight, you have your non-supporting leg, free leg, and then you bend this knee slightly. It doesn't have to be bent all the way, just a little bit more. And then we're gonna lower the hip first, and then we're gonna lift it. So now it's the movement in both directions, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds each as well. So find your position. I'm going to start on the other side, bend the leg, feet back points, and then let's start going down, going up, and then of course mind your knee. Don't extend it or bend it any other way throughout the whole movement, and try to really feel the burn. When you feel the burn in your small glute muscles, that's when you know you're doing it right. And try to really take your time in the end position. So up here and down here, and stay for a long time. Go to the other side, 30 seconds as well. Bend your knee, lower your hip, and lift it. Lower it and lift it. And take a second in the end position to really feel how you're increasing the range of motion with every repetition. And about 10 seconds. And yeah, it's beeping. And now we're back. Try to repeat this pattern until you really feel the burn. And if it's difficult for you, for some people it might be super difficult to do this pattern, go in front of a mirror and just stand there and watch yourself, watch your pelvis and how it moves. And then you will find, because a mirror or recording yourself is a great feedback tool for exactly this. So you'll see, do I even move in the right way? So we now use the hands as a feedback tool, recording or a mirror or anyone else that could tell you, yeah, it looks good, you're really lifting your hip, is a great tool to improve this pattern. And I can recommend this every day basically. So doing it in the mornings, doing it as an evening routine, or even during periods of prolonged sitting is a great way to go. What we're going to do right now is finish everything with the same pattern we did at the beginning. So weight shifting in a more creative way. But we're not going to do it in this martial way, we're going to do it in a more athletic way. So what that means is we're going to shift the weight to one side. We're not going to lower ourselves, but we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to come from above. So you can either jump if you want to jump, or you can just lift yourself up, extend your ankle, and then drop down on the other leg. And we're going to do this for 1 minute. Try to repeat this pattern with me. Be playful like in the beginning, and yeah, again, be creative and start with the triple extension and then move into jumping when you feel comfortable. So don't overdo it at the beginning. Right, so find your position, shift your weight, and then we're gonna slowly move through the space, shifting our weight, pushing ourselves up, lowering ourselves down. And do this in any direction that you feel comfortable. Again, mind your knees, mind your position. Be comfortable with everything we do. And if you feel comfortable, you can already start jumping. It's important to control the landing though. So don't be too extreme with yourself. 30 seconds. Try to explore everything around you. Don't limit yourself. and that's it. All right, guys, that was just a really short introduction to a more dynamic weight shift. As always, work on the patterns that we did, try to repeat them whenever you can, revisit the video when you can, and yeah, be excited for the next progressions in the next webinars. See you guys soon.
So I hope you enjoyed the movement session, and I can really recommend it. Just repeat this pattern whenever you find time for it. You can split up your day, you can interrupt prolonged periods of sitting whilst studying or working. Just repeat these patterns. When you're at the bus stop, repeat these patterns until you really understand them. In the next webinar, we're obviously going to progress them. It's going to be more complex, more demanding. So really try to install these patterns into your body. And what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the reasons to run, the reasons to move. 2 rules from the start. First one, you don't need to be fit to start. There's no objective fitness level that you need to have. It's a really vague term to start your journey. So it's an individual, it's a case-by-case basis. So don't be afraid of, there's so many fit and capable beings out there. Just do your own thing, focus on yourself and on your progress and on your process and on your journey in running or in moving in general, and then you will reap the most benefits. The second one is really running related. You don't have to run from the start. There's no reason to run. If you want to run, you can start by walking at first, really slowly, and then you can step by step, small steps, you can progress this, and at the end, in maybe a month or 2 or 5 at the fun run, or in a year, you will look back at you and you'll be like, yeah, now I'm fit and now I can run. So really take it slow from the beginning. And what I want you to do now is you can pause the video after, obviously, I said what I wanted to say, and reflect on reasons that make you want to move. Move in general, or maybe even to run. And these can be internal or external reasons. Can be health related, or can be related to some goal setting, or some individuals that you want to run with, for example, or move with, or certain movement patterns that you want to be able to do. Write them down and revisit them. It's not rigid, it's not going to be the same. And your movement practice and the stuff that you do in a year is going to be completely different from what you do now, because that's good. It's good to progress, it's good to change. It's good to have certain or different varying demands on the body. So revisit them, revisit these reasons that make you want to move, that make you want to run, and just keep them somewhere secure. And as it's easier to start with some reasons from outside, we're going to give you some reasons to run or to move in general. And that might shift your perspective a little bit. So the first one is the biggest one. It's that we are built for running, basically. So the human body, its anatomy is built for walking and running. We're built for bipedalism. And it's partly what defined us as a species, and it enabled us to explore, it enabled us to hunt together. So we basically evolved into endurance runners. So running is really deeply rooted in our evolutionary history. It's part of what defined us as humans, what made us humans, what made us progress as a species. So just keep this in mind. And to build up on this is really related to the first point, is that our bodies in general are built. And what are some examples that show that we're built for running? Well, it's the long legs, it's an elastic tendons in our legs, in our body in general, but in legs obviously specifically running related. Our Achilles tendon and our feet basically act like springs, and they store energy and return it really efficiently. And the best way to experience this, it's called stretch shortening cycle, is to skip rope, for example. This is, like jump really small jumps, but repeat them. So don't spend too much time on the floor, and just hop. And you will feel it's not super demanding, because there's somewhat like a spring installed. And this is The first spring is the arched feet, and the second spring is our Achilles tendon. Just keep this in mind, because obviously running um, is an energy storage and return after energy storage and return. So it's like spring after spring after spring after spring. If you look at marathon runners, for example, it looks super efficient. And why does it look super efficient? Well, because of these natural springs that we have installed in the body. And if you know how to use them, then it's running becomes really fun and really adventurous and really easy. And another reason is obviously our sweating is really good for cooling during prolonged activity. There are like crazy humans that are capable of running 100 or even more kilometers without pausing, and sweating is one of the key aspects of that. Obviously, you need to rehydrate, but that's another topic. But it enabled us to run for long periods of time. The third reason, and we could expand this topic and talk about different and varying intensities and volumes and everything, is that running improves your health. This is not the place for this right now. I just want to highlight, or we want to highlight, that regular running supports your health outcomes. And this relates to all the systems that the body needs in order to run. So it improves your cardiovascular fitness, your metabolic health, your bone health as well, your immune function, and very many more. And it also, besides the pure physical, as a careful topic, systems, it also benefits your brain. And this obviously depends also on intensities and volume, frequency, and adherence to training. But just keep that in mind, that your mind benefits also from regular exercise and from regular running. And one thing that we really want to highlight, and we try to do it wherever we can, is that running can, if you do it outside and outdoors, it can increase your time spent in nature. And time spent in nature is such a valuable thing that we do not do enough. And there's not as much environmental pollution, for example, or so many beneficial things. Your nervous system calms down. It's good for your cognitive functions, and many physical and psychological aspects benefit from being in nature. And you feel it yourself. You can do it. It's a really easy test. Just go for a walk in the woods for like 1-2 hours and just immerse in nature. Do some Shinrin Yoku and experience the nature around you. And how will you feel after? Running, if you do it regularly, if you go outdoors for that, if you find some green spaces, obviously it's going to really support this process. And then really simple reason is that running is simple and accessible. You don't need anything for it. You're not born with tools attached to your body, so you don't need them. And this is what running perfectly highlights, is it requires minimal equipment. It can be done almost anywhere, and it is adaptable. And it's really cool because you can do it as a beginner, but you can also, there's no limit to it. Maybe the 1 hour and 45 minute marathon, that might be the limit. But yeah, you can experience this spectrum of running regardless of where your fitness levels are. And how do I take these reasons, and so how do I let them support me in my process? How do they motivate me? And we have decided on 3 major things or aspects of motivation. The first one is be involved, the second one, dream big, and the third one is the focus shift. So the first one is like be involved. What does that mean? What we want you to do is take an active role in your movement journey. Don't let anyone dictate and blindly follow these rules and these training regimens. Try to be involved. You can have a health professional working with you, a professional coach or whatever, and you can learn with them, but don't take a passive, like the back seat, and just enjoy the ride. Try to be the ride. Try to improve it. Try to learn on this journey. Try to be actively involved. It's your body, it's your journey. Why should you take the backseat? Why should you be passive in this one? Obviously, you can learn, you can improve, you can have role models, you can have people you learn with. This is super important if you don't have the necessary knowledge or skills, but be active and also approach it with curiosity and a playful mindset. So it's absolutely okay to take a day off or to take a week off or to do different modes or different practices. Like, I don't want to go running today. I want to take a day off, and tomorrow I want to go climbing or I want to go swimming. Be playful. You're not a pro athlete in the most cases, so you don't have a certain goal that you need to reach because you want to win Olympia gold. It's you want to improve your capacity, and that's going to happen through various kinds of movements, but you also want to adhere to it. You want to stay motivated, and this is really, really important that you see this playful capacity or possibility within movement, and to take these eyes of a child basically when it comes to movement. Follow your heart whenever you can. The dream big is really important as well. Is you can expect adaptations to occur. There's going to be so much happening in your body when you start with new routines or change old routines or start moving in general. And your body is an adaptation machine. I talked about this before. And it will improve over time if the parameters are right. So expect this. This will happen to your body if you're going to do it. So there's no reason that you individually will not progress. Obviously, you might need to change certain parameters or even get some professional help that supports you through this process. But in the end, you will progress and your body will adapt. And in order to really see this and to track this, it's super important to track your progress. So what I want you to do is like set simple, realistic, and easy to measure goals. If you, for example, want to run a 5K, but are not capable to run a 1K, maybe running 1K is the first step. And then the next one is going to be a 2K, but with walking intervals because it's too much. And then try to find these markers, try to find these progressions so you really can check certain boxes and you're like not overwhelmed with, I want to run 5K and right now I cannot even run a 1K. I'm never going to be able to do it. See the small improvements. And if you're careful enough, you will find them. And if you are attentive enough, you will also have the time to notice these and appreciate these small improvements. So this is like this mindfulness about your own journey is really important. See where you were and see where you are right now. See how you feel. See how everything has changed and how you improved. And take time in your day. You can set specific dates to reflect on your journey every month or every 2 months and see what happened and be thankful for everything that happened on your journey thus far. Really, really, really undervalued aspect of motivation. And the third one is shift your focus, or the focus shift. What we mean by that is do not only focus on the effort all the time. It's so hard to run, for example, and gassed all the time. Maybe intensity is too high, but you could also focus on the nice things. If you're, for example, running outdoors, you can perceive the environment more actively and you can see the beauty of it, and your focus might shift and you might run more effortlessly and not as rigid, and it's not going to be as hard. So it's going to feel more effortless. And what you can also use in that is that you try to take every movement session, every training session, every running session, and turn it into a small exploration, into a small adventure. Don't always run the same route. Run different routes and experience, like take the bike and ride 20 minutes somewhere and run there or move there or train there and experience not only your body but also the environment and everything that is given, that is sometimes neglected, so you can have a bit more fun and different tastes in every exercise or running session. 3 more aspects that can support you in really, really, really easy ways also. First one being your social system. So your social support system, friends, family members, whoever is related to you in that way, ask them to join in, ask them to be part of your journey. Maybe not on a practical side, but maybe on the let's plan how I want to move, and can you give me some inspiration about certain movement practices or certain disciplines that I haven't done. Maybe you have a friend or a family member that dances, and you ask them, hey, can we go dancing together? Or you can ask them to join in on certain running sessions, for example, and you can rotate them, obviously. Not everybody's going to have time all the time, but use them. And another really, really important thing is, besides your internal feedback that we talked about on the sheet before, get this external feedback. Ask friends and family members how they perceive your progress. It's basically like when you have a child, you basically never see them growing up, and you have friends that see your children every 3 to 4 months, and then they're like shocked because the child basically exploded from size. And this is the same when it comes to practice. Use other people and get them to give you feedback. Ask them, hey, how do you perceive me and my performance and the way I move? And yeah, really, really, really valuable thing, because sometimes we might neglect it and others have a completely different picture. Second one is the support through music. It's a two-edged sword, so be careful with it. First of all, it's a good tool because it's going to take your attention away from the effort, and you can explore your music, your favorite music, in different ways. And you can listen to them while running, and you can listen to them to your favorite songs and do just some open, like qigong type movements, and just try to feel it ever in your whole body, in your whole system. So this is a really cool tool for that. The other side is obviously that it might harm your awareness that you can send throughout your body. And that goes for running, and that goes for movement in general. Like in running, for example, if the running frequency, like a stride frequency, so the amount of times that you touch the floor or the ground in a minute, is completely different from the BPMs of your music, so the beats per minute. And the BPMs are different in every song, then it might mess up with your frequency, because you always try to align with the music, because that's the sweet spot. For the people that know. So try to find maybe a good playlist that has the same beats per minute for running, and create a running playlist, for example. And more mellow songs, for example, for more mellow exercise practices or whatever. But just keep this in mind. It's a super good thing to take the attention away from effort, but you should also be careful, because it takes your attention away from your body and from the things that you might want to perceive in that scenario. Especially when starting with something new, it's always good to not have anything that distracts you. And the third one is take a holistic perspective. And we cannot repeat this enough times. Nutrition is super important. Like, try to improve your nutrition and in your eating behaviors to support. You will want to have enough nourishing food. Again, a topic that we could extend for hours on. There are great sources that you can find on the internet about that topic. Same goes for hydration. Stay hydrated, drink your water. Really, 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 really important. And also gets neglected 9 out of 10 times. Prioritize your sleep and your recovery. So have a proper sleep hygiene, take care of your sleep routine, so your routine before bed. Don't drink too much, don't watch TV before going to bed. There's so many rules to that. And prioritize recovery. When we think about training or physical education, most of the times it's just about like this contraction, it's just about performance. But the other aspect and the other side of the coin is recovery. It's calming your nervous system. It's relaxing. It's maybe long walks in a park. it might be meditation, it might be other mindfulness practices, might be a hot bath. Focus on calming down as well, because that is, again, physical practice as well. And in the end, it is the most important point: have fun and keep moving. Really, really find this curiosity and this playfulness in your own movement practice and keep moving. This is the most important one. You don't always have to hit your defined volume or your defined intensity or frequency of your training sessions, but keep moving. And skip 2 days, but the next day you will keep moving. And try to find small movement bites throughout the day that help you keep moving. So have fun and keep moving. Yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next webinar, it's going to be published beginning of May. We're going to talk about how you can introduce certain tools in your training that help you stay consistent, because sometimes you might hit a wall, you might feel overwhelmed physically or mentally, and we're going to show you how to avoid this and how to push through certain walls as well. So this is going to be super exciting. And also in the next webinar, there's going to be an additional one, and we're going to launch our 8-week training program beginning of May also. So you can start training in the beginning of May and you'll have 8 weeks before the fun run. So you're perfectly prepared for the fun run on the 3rd of July in Munich. I want to thank you for your attention. Repeat the patterns, revisit this webinar, this recording for certain aspects. Try to learn, try to improve, and have a great week. Big shout out to our partners and supporters that support this whole project. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you and have a great week.